Greetings and welcome to a Prayerful Pause. I'm Nancy Woodworth-Hill and amongst other things, a spiritual director. Today we will look at a variation on the Examen, which I'm calling the Examen in two statements. Ignatius of Loyola, who lived from 1491 to 1556, is the founder of the Jesuits. He left them and us the gift of his spiritual exercises. This gift includes the Examen, a way of praying through one's day. This prayer practice is different from most. It's not worship, it's not intercession or devotion or meditation. It is a way of looking at ordinary life, the daily finding God's presence in our experiences and emotions. It is a God-centered way of praying. My friend Kim shared with me her alternative to the Examen, which is shorter and is worked in a way which she says allows her to turn to sleep with greater ease. So here's the practice. Preparation. You will need a notebook or some other way of recording your thoughts nearby, and you will need a space to reflect on your day. Kim told me that this can take about a minute or up to 20 minutes when she discerns that some journaling would be helpful. On a regular basis, perhaps monthly, prepare some space and time to review the fruit of the practice. And every 3 months or so, you can look back at these monthly discoveries to see whether or not you're making any progress. It's very helpful to have some divisions of your day to work with. I would suggest between 3 and 5. For example, it's a larger number from waking to leaving for work, time before lunch, time after lunch, time in the evening. However you choose to split up your day that works for you is good. So here's the practice. There are 2 statements and a monthly reflection. The 2 statements are, I give thee, and I thank thee. So for each of these, we're going to gaze gently, and I mean that, gazing gently to look with soft eyes on your day, not harshly, but softly. And you look through your day time frame by time frame. You can perhaps use prompts. What was I doing? Did I get done what I wanted? How do I feel? And there are other prompts. You can make them up. For the first statement in particular, I give thee, find one time, stop at 1, when you didn't measure up to what you wanted to be. Kim stressed that 1 is enough for the day. Look for something that matters in the long run. So for example, not that you ate the chocolate bar rather than an apple, but that you were impatient when you had to explain something 3 different times. Kim shared that this is a practice of being aware of and knowing your values because you're examining how you are engaging them. So write this in your journal or whatever way you're choosing to record this. And it's fine to use bullet points rather than a paragraph. This is what you choose to give to God, this one challenging thing in your day. And letting go, yes, it can be a challenge. Kim suggests extending grace and forgiveness to yourself or to the other person who triggered that challenge. She finds 3 categories. What is my business to settle? What is someone else's business to settle? And essentially, what is God's business to settle? So, in other words, we can say, identify whose problem is it? Is it mine? Is it another's? Or is it just something we can hand to God? And then answer the question, do you need to journal on this? For the second statement, I thank thee, again, turn towards your periods of your day. So this will be a second time of going through your day. Gaze gently, looking for joys. Kim suggested finding 3 joys. She notes that they don't have to be big things. Perhaps at the end of winter one notices the birds are returning, or there was a wonderful laugh in a text chat. Write down these 3 joys in bullet point form. 3 joys that have popped out for you during the periods you're reflecting on during your day. Now the monthly reflection comes, and Kim says at the end of the month, she suggests sitting down with these lists to look for patterns. Are there items that she repeatedly must give God? Of these, which are hers to own? Are there values connected with these items? Because, example, if frustration is being seen repeatedly, it is possible to see a value that may be being challenged or devalued by another person. So if the expectation is, for instance, that a person remove their shoes at the door and this is not being done, is a conversation in order at a time when the frustration is not being triggered? Is the frustration connected to another not seeing my needs, my point of view? The process of reflecting on the answers to these 2 statements, I give thee, I thank thee, can lead to a greater understanding of oneself and the ability to extend grace and compassion to oneself, to others, and to God. Kim says that her actual values have emerged from years of following this practice. She also notes that the injustices that she has done to herself come to the fore. As for the joys, she connects them to times and ways of experiencing God deeply. Note also the way in which Kim uses the second person singular pronoun, thee. To my mind, this points to the theologian Martin Buber, who talks about the different kinds of relationships, I, it to an object, or I, thou to other. To other, not as an object, but to other. And so the boundaries there are not separated as objects. Every 3 months, Kim scrutinizes her monthly reflections to see if she's making progress towards working with her patterns and discerning God's leading. In my mind, this is the monthly and the 3 months is extremely valuable. So, if this video has been helpful to you, please consider sharing it and go in peace.